I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Mill Creek Township Study Commission. Start with the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Commission members, I've been informed that we will no longer be passing this mic. We will use this mic if you have comments. I was told that sometimes messes that up. Okay, after the Pledge of Allegiance, let's go on the agenda. John, do you want to take the roll call, please?
Sure. Mr. Didak.
Here.
Mr. DePlacido here. Mr. Algeri.
Here.
Mr. Shaw. Here. Ms. Donna Shaw.
Here.
Mr. Boyka.
Here.
Mr. Zona.
Here.
Thank you.
Mr. Enos. Here. Ms. Hubb.
Here.
Mr. Kruger. Here. Marcia Terry.
Here.
Sue Weber.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thanks. Let the record show we have a quorum. Item 4, we're going to call the public hearing. As everybody knows, we had a public hearing a few weeks back, our first public hearing on the report. Today we scheduled the second public hearing on the report, and so we will open it up to comments about the report from the public as part of the public hearing.
Just from our seats?
And,
No.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Mark Shaw. I'm a resident of Mill Creek Township as well as a solicitor for Mill Creek Township. On page 16 of your report, you talk about the legal fees and suggest that the cost would potentially decrease by $500,000. And I assume that you came up with that number by comparing what Mill Creek spends versus what the three entities that you identified, the three other municipalities. Is that correct? Page 16.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Other than the DCED records, did you look anywhere else to verify the amount of legal fees for those entities? Where else did you look?
One of the other assistant or alternate commissioners communicated with each of these counties, or I'm sorry, municipalities, and asked their management what the legal fees were. And there were some differences, a little bit more, a little bit less, not too far off, but we chose not to use those because those were not what was reported by all of those townships to the DCED. So the DCED was the source of our information, and they, normalizing what they received from each of the townships.
Well,
Yes,
this is as far as I know, it's a public hearing, which will,
that's correct.
it's advertised as Q&A, so.
Okay, right.
Based on the information that I received from the townships, the data for Lower Paxton, Middleton, and Hempfield is not correct and understates the amount of legal fees spent by those townships for the period of 2021 through 2023. I did not look at 2019 or 2020. The corrected numbers for Lower Paxton for 2021 is $231,552, not the $70,545 provided in your report. Similarly, for 2022, the correct number is $152,006, not the $70,902 in your report. And for 2023, it is $226,223, not the $135,531 in your report. The correct numbers for Middleton are for 2021, it was $287,444, not $234,989. For 2022, the correct number is $212,344, not $151,942. And for 2023, the correct number is $242,057, not $142,000. The correct numbers for Hempfield, actually in 2021, the number that you had in your report is understated. It was $191,818. Your report was $213,400. For 2022, the correct number is $190,622, not $109,048. And for 2023, the correct number is $202,588, not $142,682.
Well, Mr. Shaw, just one quick question, or one quick comment. You say the correct number. We use the DCED filings of each of these townships. So it's your opinion what's correct? We
No, it's-
took what they turned in themselves to the state, used those, because everybody kind of reports things differently, you know that.
Well, these are in response to both right to know requests. So the information received is from the townships, given their numbers. How or what they report to DCD, I'm not sure. But I think that these numbers are the correct numbers, not the numbers that you relied on with DCED. In addition to that, we were able to get the Ben Salem numbers. If you recall in your report, you indicated that was not reported. In Ben Salem, in 2021, they spent $754,921. In 2022, it was $911,116. In 2023, it was $873,998. Much different than some of those other ones that you did identify. We also looked at a couple of first-class townships with similar populations to Mill Creek. Based on information directly from Lower Merion, which has a population of about 58,000. Their legal fees were $575,701 in 2021, $639,867 in 2022, and $568,305 in 2023, and $774,678 in 2024. There are similar expenses with other municipalities, first-class townships that are in that same range. I guess I've prepared a table that reflects those numbers, and I would request that similarly be included in your report. I would note that each of these communities have the manager-council form or mayor-council form of government, and I would suggest that based on these numbers, I don't think you can conclude that Mill Creek would spend less on legal fees by simply hiring a manager, or that the added cost of switching to a manager form of government will be paid for by reduced legal fees. I would recommend that the commission remove that statement in its report, suggesting that having a manager will result in decreased legal fees for the township.
So let me just add that this commissioner, alternate commissioner, also did right-to-know requests, and that's how we came up with some of these numbers that she had, but we cannot use them because they weren't reported to DCED, and we don't have Ben Salem on here because they did not report to DCED. My understanding is Ben Salem can be fined or grants being withheld for not reporting, but that's not our business. But we took all the numbers that all these townships reported to DCED. So yes, there were different numbers, but they were all over the board. And so, comparing apples to apples, this was the source that we could do that from. The other thing is that if you read the report, we don't say it will save $500,000. We say that it may. And again, it's up to the public to do some research as well. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but to put numbers on here that we're getting from various sources that are all different, we had to choose the DCED, some source that we could say was normalized.
DCED is a secondary source, though. Wouldn't you use the primary source, which is the municipalities themselves, when you say, how much did you spend in legal fees? Here's the number.
But the primary
that's what
sources
these numbers
reported
are.
those numbers to the DCED, so that's,
No, they're not DCED numbers.
right, but the primary sources were responsible for reporting their true and accurate numbers. So you're saying that they falsified their numbers, or they were sloppy? I don't know, maybe so.
Yeah. But your report doesn't reflect that you looked at other numbers and found higher numbers that may not necessarily support the theory or the suggestion that you make in the report. So I think to have a balanced report, it would make sense to say, okay, there are other numbers out here that would indicate that, you may not save any money by switching to the form of government.
Sure. Michael,
The figures that are cited in the Department of Community and Economic Development annual financial report are the numbers that are determined by the CPA that conducts the annual audit on behalf of the municipality under a specific engagement.
And that CPA may or may not categorize various legal fees under that category. They may have them under a different category. I mean, all CPAs do things differently. Different audits are done in different ways. You look through an audit from one municipality, it may not match up with another. They throw the numbers in. I assume the computer just feeds it in and fills in the blanks.
Keyword was assumed. You just said.
Are you going to dispute it?
I'm just saying you made an assumption.
Well, is it in any other way? Do you know which way it is?
It's certified,
The auditors.
it's certified by an auditor that sent it into DCED. So that's why it certainly appears to be a reputable source.
Now, if the townships are giving, if the municipalities are giving different information in response to right to knows, it I don't think is a reputable source at that point in time. Certainly leaves it open for question. That frankly the commission should have either explained or looked into further.
Thanks, Mark.
If I,
We got about 3 minutes, so you're probably over that already, but
this is a public hearing, so you're going to limit me to 3 minutes.
you've been up here for about almost 10, but go ahead.
It's either a public hearing or it's not.
Public hearing.
Okay, thank you. In terms of the manager cost, did the commission look at any municipalities in terms of what they're actually spending, similar to the way you did it here for the attorney's fees?
you're asking total personnel costs?
Yeah.
No, we're not comparing total personnel costs. We're just looking at the change in the executive level, which would be the manager, township manager, possibly an assistant township manager, and the supervisors under the current form of government, the 3 paid supervisors as employees versus stipend-only supervisors of all the other townships. So we included all of that in our calculation.
Did you look at any additional personnel that may be needed as a result of switching the form of government?
No, because that would be too difficult to do. It would be up to a township manager, if hired, if we go that direction, to determine whether or not they need that type of support. We saw in other townships where they had an assistant township manager who was also their finance manager. So they took a dual role. We have people, employees here in director positions, manager positions, who a township manager may determine could be promoted and take on some additional duties. So that was too difficult to normalize, so to speak.
In the meeting on the 21st, you indicated the report was drafted by the executive committee. Who was on that executive committee?
That consists of our officers other than me, other than myself. It would be Mr. Olgeri, Mr. Dedad, Mr. DePlacido, along with guidance from our public partners.
Okay. And did anyone attend the executive committee meetings during which the draft of the report was reviewed?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And when did the executive committee meet to review the draft of the report or draft the report?
Several.
Yeah, we met at least 5 times, maybe twice in person, and 3 times, at least three via Zoom.
Teams.
Teams, right.
And was there a particular person who was responsible for drafting the document?
Well, between Michael and I, we yeah, Michael Foreman, we took ownership of the master document.
Were any minutes taken of these meetings?
I'm sorry?
Were any minutes taken of these meetings?
No minutes, no.
Okay.
I object, our supervisors meetings, we have a 5-minute limit, that's a public meeting. You've been up here for 15, and we don't have time here to waste.
It's different
Now,
between,
if you want to have an inquisition, then make a specific meeting.
As Mark said, a public hearing, maybe the same rules don't apply, a public hearing on the thing, is that?
Do the same rules apply to a public hearing, in your opinion, Michael?
Same rules
As apply to the 3-minute rule. The study commission adopted a 3-minute rule. It's been liberal about it from time to time. There's some liberal behavior here I think you're taking. It's, it's prudent to listen to what the township solicitor has to say. But I think that I'm not certain myself, I'm asking my colleague who may be, that a 3-minute rule can also or does also apply to a public hearing as well as public comment.
Correct.
Depends on the chair's prerogative.
Correct. It's up to the chair of the commission.
Do you agree with that, Mr. Shaw?
no, I don't.
Okay, just thought I'd ask.
You wrapping it up, Mark?
Okay. I will find,
I think we all want to hear what everyone else has to say. We're keeping information from people.
You wrapping it, Mark?
Now, what you want to do,
Mark,
you only want
2 minutes.
some people to be heard. Wow.
on page 12 of, excuse me,
And all people want to hear everything.
Okay. Let's keep the comments now. Mark still has the microphone for another 2 minutes, and then we'll move on.
On page 12 of your report, you indicated the following, that the commission deliberated on one of the option plans, on whether one of the option plans was more accountable, transparent, responsive, and more fiscally responsible, that deliberated on whether the township's operation would be more economical and efficient under a changed form of government, and that after many hours of deliberation, discussion, and debate, the study commission arrived at the recommendation included in this report. How many hours would you say were spent on deliberation, discussion, and debate? And you can estimate. 5 hours, 10 hours,
That would be
15 hours?
very, very difficult.
Okay. And when were those deliberations, discussions, and debates held?
At our semi-monthly meetings, bi-weekly meetings.
Okay. Any other?
Some of the committee meetings.
Okay. And who participated in those?
We have our commission that attends the meeting, and then the committees are made up of 3 commissioners and possibly an alternate or 2.
Okay. All right, I would object to being limited on my time, but I understand. Thank you.
Can I ask Attorney Shaw one question? Attorney Shaw, you said you've got this on?
Shaw, you said you got some of the information on legal fees, on the right to know. How recent are those? What are the dates of the data that you presented
Probably
today?
within the last month or so.
Okay. Was it ever presented to the committee? Did anybody make an effort to do that?
But we just got the information.
Well,
I didn't know that this table or chart that you put in your report occurred until you put it in the report, so I didn't know that there was a need to investigate it any further.
okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Good evening. My name is Linda Trahosky, and I'm a Mill Creek resident. And on page 7 of your report, it states that the second duty of the Government Study Commission was to compare current forms of government with other optional forms available. So in other words, the commission was to study all forms of government. However, the report shows on pages 10 and 11 that the study commission only interviewed managers from the manager council forms of government in 8 municipalities. There was an ex-employee from a mayor-council forum with no interviews with other 3 commission supervisors. My question is, how can the commission say they compared other forms of government when you only interviewed managers from manager-council forms of government? This is called selection bias in research. You only interviewed the form of government you ultimately wanted. And this is why I got blasted the last time I stood up here by some people that were for the study, saying that we put out a message saying, that we were saying that the study wasn't going to be fair from the beginning. And this shows that the study was not fair from the beginning when you only study one other form of government. That's all I have to say.
Mr. Chairman, the Williams-Samori works under a optional mayor-council form of government, which is a second-class township. And the objective that I believe you had as the commission was to compare like second-class townships as much as possible in size and a number of other factors. That was certainly the biggest one, population, and also legal costs, because it was very, very important, because the point has been made many times that that Mill Creek, without having a manager, relies on the solicitor for managerial and administrative work, as well as
Literally made that.
as well as
Never once was that
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was late. I apologize. So if I repeat something, I'm sorry. This report was assembled and approved by all of you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Not an official accountant or CPA like some people, when we padded our 55-page, you might as well bold type a few pages to make your report bigger. I thought was kind of cute how a few pages had on the backside a couple things. I thought that was kind of cute. But I ordered on page 47 of 55, where you have some numbers. I thought it was kind of interesting how some numbers are added and some numbers aren't. Like if you add the 3 supervisors together, it's $266,538,000 in cost. But Lower Paxton, the manager, the assistant finance manager, and the council is not added together, which is $363,226, $96,688,000 more than Mill Creek. If you add your numbers of Middletown that you assembled, it's $385,000. That's $118,462 more than just the 3 supervisors. And then if you look at your own numbers where the cost of living, Mill Creek is lower out of all of them. So if the cost of living is lower, and then you go on to do your calculations further on, I really question them. And then at your conclusion, based on the analysis, it says initial savings is in legislation, initial, and that's short term. You're not accounting for the fact that the transition costs and all the other, and I like the if the township manager determines an assistant manager is needed. You're not even factoring in that they probably, during this transition period, are going to need help. So I really struggle that your conclusion is there could be an overall savings of an insignificant additional cost when already this commission has cost $100,000 or will come very close towards the end, which we all paid for in the first place. So you're not even factoring that in to the cost of what you think is this initial savings. I'd like to know how you can...
So Dennis, actually, you have to follow the steps here. We're just looking at one thing here. You've mentioned like 2 or 3 things. We're looking solely at what is the cost, or what is the expense currently under the current form of government for 3 supervisors?
Right, which is
And
less.
comparing it, which is less, but you have to follow the steps. Step 1 is we have to adjust for the cost of living between these different townships.
Which is
And
more.
Mill Creek Township has a lower cost of
living
living.
is more than
right.
us.
So it will, in the end, fewer dollars. Toby, you're looking at me.
No, I'm just saying that the chair should allow one person to speak at the time, whether it's a commissioner or someone at the podium. Out of
I appreciate
respect to
that.
everybody here.
I agree. Yeah, so we adjust for the difference in cost of living. Then we, step 2 is converting all the salaries to salary plus benefits. And then we do a final analysis. And the math is all there, it's explained. We include the cost of those supervisors who are making a stipend only. And it's interesting to note that some of the townships, one by Philadelphia, I think here, is only paying their supervisors $5,000 when the maximum is $8,350, I believe. Something like that. I might be off $100 or $2. But that's in the report. And we conclude, like you said, that the savings initially, in this comparison, we'll see a savings. After a township manager, if one is put into place, determines that an assistant township manager is needed, well, then I've calculated some money in there for that, and that will cost us more money if they do that.
Right.
But not significantly more. And so it's all stated here,
Correct,
that-
it is. What I'm pointing out, though, is even your own conclusions, it's if, could, initial, insignificant. You're selecting your words, and I just want people to realize, I may pay less in taxes next year. Really, I may.
That's true.
I doubt it.
Right?
Do we need to sign this sheet up here?
Yes.
Okay, there's only one signature here, and everybody's not signing.
Let's check that after he leaves.
Members of the commission, I want to commend you on the work that you did. I think you relied upon reasonable information, which was readily available, which was treating all municipalities in the Commonwealth in the same way, using the DCED figures seemed to me to be right. I neglected to state my name, so let me start with that again. My name is Jim Stedman. I'm a retired lawyer. I represented a variety of townships over many, many years. Springfield Township for 40 years, Conneaut Township, McCain Township, and a number of municipalities and zoning hearing boards over the years. I also was a borough councilman in Girard Borough at the time that we were going through the process that you're going through right now. And we had a borough council, and the manager of the borough was the borough secretary, and you would pick that person. They weren't chosen for their good looks or their intelligence. They were chosen because they were popular. The same way the township supervisors are chosen because of popularity, because that's what wins elections. But popularity doesn't mean that you're competent to do all of the work that needs to be done. It's not an easy job to run a township. It's not an easy job to run a township. And if you get somebody with specific training to do these jobs, there may be significant savings to the residents of Mill Creek Township, of which I am one, in the cost of government. So I applaud you on the work that you've done, because I know it hasn't been easy. You've been diligent, doing the work, amassing the information, and there's always going to be somebody that thinks that things are different or that you're trying to put something over on them, but I'm not one of them.
thank you very much for the work that you've done.
Mr. Chairman, this gentleman pointed out that a couple of people didn't sign, that they should come up and sign before you go on.
Speakers.
Two of the speakers. Do it now. Do it now. Get it so they don't forget. Did he take the?
He took the paper. He took the paper.
Is he gone?
Do you just want us to write our names down on a blank?
Let's get another sheet of paper. It's just always handy to have a piece of paper up there.
You just have a blank?
We're going to make one. I didn't have
We'll just write our names and then you can fill in the top.
name and address.
Yep.
And a way to get email.
Thank you.
Address.
Who's the other person that didn't sign? Oh, thank you.
Yes. She grabbed it.
Oh. That's okay.
Thank you.
That was pretty slick, you know that? He took the,
Yeah. That's all right. We have yours. I'll just put it.
No, that's okay. I'll redo it.
Good evening. Before I start speaking, can there be a pen up here for the future? This is my pen. Well, it's actually Jack's, but just so other people have it. Thank you so much. Okay, so I just want my 3 minutes start now. I want to say that I always start this with, thank you for your service. Oh, my name. Oh, yeah. Well, this happens every time. So I'm Grant Philbeck. I'm a resident of West Mill Creek, proud resident, lifelong resident of West Mill Creek, so happy to be here. I wanted to first hope that the consultants had a nice drive up from Pittsburgh. And I also want to talk about your report, and that's why I'm talking right now. There's 14 people in the room. This is a public hearing. And I'm kind of distraught that we had an accomplished attorney up here asking simple questions. And I respect you guys a lot. But the consultants who you're paying almost $80,000 of our dollars are answering the questions for you. Going forward, please answer the questions. And I think that you owe him an apology. He deserves that time. And all residents of Mill Creek, pro or against, deserve that time. I also want to highlight just one quick thing on regards to something that was mentioned earlier, popularity. You can just hire your boy to be the township manager. I've seen it. I've seen it across Western Pennsylvania. I've worked in government. I've seen people hire their friends into positions. I've seen them hire their friends, their family. You have 5 elected council commissioners that you want. They could just hire their cousin who needs a job, and a very well-paying job, what may I add. There's no benefit to the voters, but that's not why I'm here. This is the question answer, I guess. Is it true that you only interviewed 6 current employees of Mill Creek Township? If that's wrong, how many did you interview? And can you tell me their departments? Not their names, I hope, for confidential.
Actually, did not Public Partners do interviewing of Mill Creek employees.
It's on page 10 of the report.
Yeah, I know it is, but is it 6?
Yeah, we did the supervisors.
And the supervisors are also employees.
Okay, they're elected
Page 10.
officials too. Yeah, so is it 6 who are not elected official employees?
They are employees. You asked for.
Okay, so is it 9 then?
They count 1, 2, 3.
That's what I'm asking. They are employees, I'm not denying that.
6.
So 3 non-supervisors, is that correct?
No, 3 supervisors
3 supervisors.
and 3 others.
6 total.
Guys, come on, what are we doing?
And-
I talked to more guys on my street.
The solicitor and,
Those are wait, the solicitor is the other one?
He's not an employee.
I'm just saying who's on the list.
Did you talk to the guys on the streets department, the guys who are breaking their backs digging ditches? They were just doing it out front of my yard the other day. I talked to them, I said, what do you guys think about this? They said, seems like BS to me. They have complaints about the supervisors. One of them doesn't show up to work. It pisses them off. Again, I don't blame you for wanting to change the form of government. I'm telling you that your answer is not the solution. I also want to highlight real quick on one other thing. On page 10 and 11, I think, you, again, someone already mentioned it, but you only interviewed 8 people from those forms of government. None of them were elected officials, is that correct?
No, it's not correct.
How many elected officials, consultant?
There were, how many elected, you said?
Elected, yes.
You want me to answer that, Mr.
Not
Moore?
from Mill Creek, from the other ones.
Yeah, there were 2 elected officials from one township,
Which township?
Cranberry Township, Butler County.
Okay, so one township. Have you been to Cranberry Township? It's nothing like Mill Creek. I don't know if you've ever been there. I've been there, spent a lot of time in Cranberry, not like Mill Creek. But anyway, my point being is, I have a master's degree in public administration. I'm not flexing that. I'm not saying I'm so educated. One of the things that they told us when we were talking about government and people's money when I went through that program was, you have to be very transparent to the voters and to the people. But again, there's 14 people here. It's the same crew as normal. I think I see maybe 2 other new people as normal. You're probably tired of hearing me too. But again, I respect you guys. This isn't personal to me. But it's pretty sad, guys. So how are you going to convince this, get more people here? How are they going to ask more questions? It's the same group of people every single time. And everyone, for the most part, is against what you're selling. For the most part. Of course, there's opposition. But my point being is, I don't think you did your research. I don't think you did your facts. Like it was said earlier, you had your predetermined goal at the beginning when you put it on a presidential year ballot. I just don't support your facts. I hope you change your mind and don't put this on a ballot. Thank you.
Minor point, but there were 3 department heads that were interviewed and Mr. Shaw as solicitor.
So no streets department? Because he asked.
The Director of Public Works,
like a laborer in the department. Or a police officer, anyone.
Carter Monk's a police officer, he's the chief. He was interviewed.
A patrolman, someone who's out actually working.
Got you,
He
made your
did
point.
laws in there, sir. This is a township.
Just a quick check. I'd like to ask a question. Were there any restrictions placed on our interviewing of people in the process? Do I want to say there was a ride-along with Public Works directors? And one of the supervisors came along on the ride-along?
Yes.
Would it be possible that maybe that you wouldn't get totally candid answers with one of the current supervisors sitting in the other seat? Is it possible?
You know, people's behavior changes whether you're alone or with others, but you know, who's to say? I thought the discussion was very forthright myself.
Shall I set my clock? My name's Candy Horm. I'm a resident of Mill Creek. And again, I thank you for the work you've done. I do not think you had a preconceived notion. Like I brought up before, you are Republican, you are Democrat. There's nothing here that binds you together except you love Mill Creek Township. But I have a couple questions, and I'm going to be just as hard on you as I am on the supervisors. On page 16, the budget, it says a professional manager, it's the very last line, would supervise the overall operation and assure that all required reports, budgets, et cetera, are completed in a timely manner. So does that include, and I didn't see on your, what would you call it, chain of command, I didn't see anything for an auditor. Where does the auditor fit in? Are they separate from Mill Creek and just hired? And why do we still not have a 2024 audit report? I don't know if that fits into what you're doing.
Well, the audit that we're waiting on is hired, the township hires the outside auditor, independent auditor,
Okay.
to do their report. To my knowledge, it has been filed. It may have been filed since we've done this, I'm not sure. But that's on the township side.
Okay.
Independent of, our commission or form of government,
And then I did not mark this down, I'm sorry. I read in here somewhere that the auditor determines the wages of the supervisors.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. That's an elected auditor, right? Currently it's John Grow, I believe. That's different from the independent auditor
Okay.
that does the audit report. So you have that elected auditor that sets the salaries for the township supervisors, and then you have the independent auditor who performs the audit on the records of the township.
Okay. I just talked to Mr. Stedman on his way out, and, because I didn't really hear if he said what happened. He said they went with the borough manager form of government, and it has saved them money. But everything he said I agree with. If you're popular, you can get the vote. You might not have a degree in accounting, you might not read balance sheets, and there's no shame in that, but if you run for office, you should have the credentials to be able to perform for the people of Mill Creek. I had another question on page 17. If we get this form of government, it says, "Council is prohibited from involving itself in the daily affairs of the departments." How do you do that? If the manager is running everything, how do you get the supervisors not to be involved with what they're doing right now?
That would be just the way that the township operates. You would have a township manager that interacts, is kind of the go-between between the council and staff.
Okay.
So he or she would operate at the direction of the council. They would handle the day-to-day operations of the township.
It's a different chain of command. So the-
Okay, all right. And
The council acts more like a board of directors. The manager has the overall responsibility for all the day-to-day operations. Department heads report to the one person, the manager.
okay.
That's the way it's carried out.
And then on page 21, it says that council would pass ordinances and resolutions, approve the budget, set taxes and fees, approve contracts, which I think right now we have, I will say it, graft or corruption with contracts. I don't know if these contracts are sealed bids, but what I'm seeing is it seems like the same people are always getting awarded a contract. So, and they also appoint the manager, treasurer, secretary, solicitor, and member of the boards and commissions. Is not the manager going to appoint a treasurer? Is not the manager going to appoint a secretary? Or am I reading this wrong? That's the second to the last paragraph on 21.
The township secretary and treasurer would be, under the way the report is written, would recommend, the manager would recommend,
Recommend.
but the board, it's common in council manager forms of government all around the state and all throughout the country and the other 24, 25 countries that have the council manager form of government, that it depends on the local situation, but generally speaking, there's a separation of powers within the actual organizational structure, the operational structure, so that the manager just doesn't appoint a finance director without some additional oversight. So the treasurer/finance director, it's very common that the board would ratify at least that person to fill that job, rather than the manager so the manager doesn't have too much control over the money. So that there's some separation at that level as well. Same thing goes with a couple of the other, and solicitor certainly. The manager can have some input, but it depends on the municipality. But the solicitor clearly is selected by the governing body in most cases.
Okay, and I just have just a couple comments on if we go with this manager form of government, the pay for the council would be anywhere from, 43 to 85 or something like that? 85 is the highest, right?
Give or take a couple dollars, yeah.
Okay, but it could be like 45. So 5 times 45, 20 grand to 40 grand. Add on what our supervisors are making with Benny's, which is 366. Take 40 grand from that. I mean, I'm not a math major, but you got 220,000, you should be able to hire a reputable person for a manager, maybe somebody with a law degree as well as an accounting background, you know? So I wanted to bring that up, and I have one question, but I think it might go for public. So I will get out of here. Thank you for letting me speak, and thank you for your work.
Any other public comments for the public hearing?
Ready? Got your clock set?
We're not being that close, Jerry.
You're not holding that anymore?
Well,
Okay.
we'll be a little
Okay,
bit with you.
on page 15, I'm just bringing this up. In fact, these people should actually, like Grant said, they should actually be up here answering the questions, because you guys aren't. I mean, Toby is answering them quite a bit. Mr. Dedad did his job, but the rest of you are sitting there. There's no answers coming from you. They're all coming from him. The politics, one of your reasons to support, I'd like to see politics, carry out administrative activities in a non-political manner. This is manager, through separating politics from administration. You're never going to separate politics, and you know it. You've heard it standing here. Do you also know that your question has been amended? Do you know that? Do you people know that?
The interpretative statement
has been amended. It's not in here. Why hasn't that been brought up? Do you want? So why don't they know that? Why do you know it?
We do know that.
What does it say?
I do. I kind of jumped the gun.
What does it say? What does it say?
We said last week, 2 weeks ago at our meeting, is that the interpretive statement was subject
To the election office.
No, okay. But do you know what it is now?
Yeah, as of several days ago, the Election Bureau got back to the commission and us.
Well, I think it's something that should have been brought up and said.
But that does not go in the report at this time.
I'm not saying it will even appear. It could change.
It's their decision. They could change it again.
Yeah, it changed from a yes vote will result in a council manager form of government but then they added 5 persons will be elected to council and they will appoint a manager.
Sounds familiar, but
So, I'm just saying, this is something that should be said here. This was a meeting about this final report. Okay, you can shake your head.
no, but
Now,
that's,
and also, okay, I don't want to ask you too much. I want to hear from them, actually, not you. If you look at it's just crazy. You people are just crazy. I mean,
I don't like that kind of talk, Jerry.
well, I'm sorry. I said that the wrong.
Sit down.
All right, I said the wrong thing. I apologize. But I sit here and you're talking about transition here, and you put in recommendations, and also under the question, it asks for recommendations. Your recommendations are 4 of you should sit there to be on the transition team. I'd like to ask, what do you think you have to offer to the transition team that 4 people from the township or 4 people that work here? I'm sorry for the crazy. I get frustrated sitting here listening, and I'm sorry. I keep going back to his statement where he said, uninformed public is going to make this decision, and yet you have a guy that sat here and wanted to give some information, and it wasn't taken. Time. Everything is time. And I realize everything is time. So I apologize. I apologize to you, but I don't think they should be answering the questions. I think it should be on you guys. So you may not like what I said, and I'll apologize for saying crazy, but I've heard some crazy things here too. So with that,
So have I.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming right back at me. Believe me, you should. So,
Can I just clarify, any involvement of anybody on this, the transition team would again be voluntary?
the transition team is appointed by the Board of Supervisors. No, they're not paid.
So it's just another
It's a voluntary.
Since they're looking for substitutes again. Listen, I want to make sure everybody understands that. If we can put on some transition committee, it's just more volunteer work.
but it's a recommendation, and doesn't the recommendation also follow whether it passes or not?
No,
No?
no.
This is a recommendation.
That recommendation can be taken or ignored or modified.
The current supervisors will run this.
That's right.
Okay.
We're going to pull straws to see which 4 of us get to volunteer for another year or 2. Voluntarily.
I got you. I see the frustration. I see the time. But we got frustrations on our side too.
And I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you speaking.
I appreciate your honesty. And I apologize again for crazy. I do respect you for how you ran the water works, but I still think that sometimes looking at this without informing the public the right way is just not a great way to approach it, and you guys never interviewed Melanie on the finances. On the finances you did? On the finances.
Yeah, yes.
I read the right to know. And then what about the prior treasurer that was let go? Did anybody find out why they let him go? Was there any involvement in that? Celeste?
By the way, Melanie was interviewed.
She was, I seen the notes, but not about financials. Thank you.
Is there anyone else for the public hearing portion? Okay, we will close the public hearing and move on to the regular meeting. We'll go to public comments on agenda items.
Other agenda items.
Okay, if there are none, we will move on to item 6, approval of the minutes from August 11th, 2025. Before we go for that, or maybe we ought to have a motion and a second and then questions. So would somebody make a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Second by Jim Dedad. Before we vote, I think there are a couple minor changes that need to be included. Mr. Dedad? I'm sorry, Mr. DePlacido.
Yes, we have some,
Here, go ahead, here.
We had some comments back for these meeting minutes, and I incorporated them in the document I have here. And they included some grammatical errors, things like that, probably 4 or 5 of them, and also some other issues with expanding what people have said, things like that, at the message, at the meeting, putting more in. That's one of the things that we try to keep it as clear as we can, as concise as we can, because it'll last an hour and a half if you read it, if we don't. Found another error on page 3 regarding the Erie Community College, but there's nothing here of major origin that would prevent us, I think, from approving an amended Government Study Commission.
Okay, so
Many
can
meeting
we
minutes.
have then maybe a motion to? Yeah, okay, college,
Mr. DePlacido just said that those changes are insignificant. There's no reason,
Yeah,
there's no
they're-
reason to amend it. There's nothing substantive.
No.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay. Well, then John, you have a microphone, you want to call the roll call for the vote on the minutes?
On the amended minutes?
Amended minutes.
Yes. Call the roll call. Mr. Dedad?
Yes.
Mr. DePlacido, yes. Mr. Algieri?
yes.
Mr. Schaaf?
Yes.
Donna Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Wojtek?
Yes.
Mr. Zona?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, John. Item 7, approval of the bills. We have some bills laid out there, Public Partners, Knox Law, in Mill Creek Magazine. I think, Jim, you've reviewed them. I know that I've reviewed them as part of the Budget Committee. Do you have any comments about that, or?
No, they're in line with what we expected.
Okay. Can we have a motion to?
I make a motion.
Motion by Donna,
Oh, second.
second by Art. Any questions or comments? If not, John, I know we're going kind of fast here.
Mr. Dedad?
Yes.
Mr. DePlacido, yes. Mr. Algieri?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Donna Shaw? Mr. Wojtek?
Yes.
Mr. Zona?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, thanks, John. We'll go to the committee reports. Item 1 is the Budget Committee. Mr. Dedad?
Sure. Nothing to report about meeting. We have not met since the last commission meeting here. But I always do an update on where we stand with our budget and actual numbers to date. And we're in line at this point. As of today, it looks like we may have money left over, but we'll see how we land. But it looks like we're going to be within budget at the end of all this. We only have 2 months left, and the majority of the money that's left to spend is in the public outreach and educational materials category.
Thanks. Any questions for Jim? If not, I will turn it over to Mr. DePlacido.
Yes, we had no meeting and there were no activities last month.
Thanks, John. Next up, Public Outreach. I won't go through the whole name. Mr. Algieri?
Thank you. At our most recent meeting, we put the final touches on the commercial spot / social media spot that will be airing beginning sometime after Labor Day. We'll be producing that within the next 7 days. You'll see it on social media and TV. Our next item was we're reviewing the open house dates and the venues, and hopefully all commissioners and alternates will be able to attend, and they are as follows. Please take note. September, all of these open houses will start at 7 o'clock and end at approximately 8:30. The first one will be September 8th at the Bell Valley Hose Company. The second one will be September 22nd, right here in this room in the municipal building, Mill Creek Municipal Building. The third one will be October 6th, and that will be at E3C, the Erie County Community College. Prior to that, it was Villa Maria Academy. And the fourth open house will be October 27th at the First Alliance Church on Zimmerly Road. And once again, hopefully all the commissioners will be able to make each one of those, and as well as the alternates. We discussed our format for the Bell Valley, the first open house, and we want to keep it as informal as possible, allowing Mill Creek residents and voters not only to ask questions, but to meet the people, the commissioners and the alternates, and give them the information that they need to make an informed decision. And that'll be, once again, September 8th. We have some upcoming social outreach, public outreach to special groups. We had one on August 12th at the Lions Club. The next one will be the Prescott Rotary on 9/16 at Lori's Wild Ridge Restaurant at 7 a.m. Donna and I will be there. And the Torch Club will be October 1st. It's a Wednesday at the Erie Yacht Club at 6 p.m. And RJ and Sue Weber will be representing the commission there. The next Blue Couch newscast will actually be tomorrow. It'll be 8:26. And Bill Schaaf and RJ Zona will be on WICU 7 o'clock newscast on the Blue Couch. And the next social media spot will be, we'll actually produce that on Wednesday, and John DePlacido will be doing that, and that'll air during the month of September. We will be, I want to announce that Sue Weber resigned her position on the Public Outreach Committee. And that is all that the public outreach meeting entailed.
Thank you, Art. Any questions for Art? Okay. New business. We are, as Art just pointed out, we have a number of public forums / open houses scheduled. We're looking to put an ad in the paper to advertise these public forums, as well as, because the first public forum is September 8th, we're going to be canceling the regular commission meeting on September 8th because of the 7 o'clock public forum at Bell Valley. So we won't have a meeting here on that night, that evening. So what we're looking for, folks, is a motion to advertise the 4 public forums and cancel September 8th. I think the other dates are when we had meetings scheduled through September, and because the 22nd, we are going to have that meeting prior to the public hearing, prior to the public forum here. That meeting will not need to be canceled. We just need to cancel the September 8th and advertise the 4 public forums. Would somebody make that motion?
And make sure the motion, if I may.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Make sure the motion includes the time that is 7
said 7
p.m. for
o'clock.
all 4, that when you say the motion, that all 4 public forums are going to have the same starting time of 7 p.m. So if I could help by reading, if I read it to you.
Well, I could.
Okay, you got it? Okay.
That's all we need to add is the time. And First Alliance Church on the last.
And the cancellation.
All right. Okay, I move to advertise the following open houses, public forums. They will all start at 7 p.m. and go to 8:30 p.m. on September 8th, 2025 at Bell Valley, September 22nd, 2025 at the Mill Creek Township Building, October 6, 2025, at the former Villa Academy, which is now Erie County Community College, and October 27th, 2025, at First Alliance Church on Zimmerly Road, and to also cancel our regular commission meeting on October 6th at the Township Building.
September 8th.
September 8th.
September 8th.
Okay.
You make that motion?
No,
Motion by-
yeah,
by-
I'll motion it. I'll move.
Second by Art. Any questions on that, on the commission? No? Mr. DePlacido, haven't called on you for a while.
Okay, Mr. Dida.
Yes.
Mr. DePlacido, yes. Mr. Algieri.
Yes.
Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Donna Shaw.
Yes.
Mr. Boyka.
Yes?
And Mr. Zone.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. The last item on new business, I believe, is finalizing our final report. Now that the commission has held 2 public hearings, I just wanted to ask any commission member if they have any comments or corrections or adjustments they would like to see in the final report. We have filed it, that this is an opportunity, if you think we need to change it at all, to do it before we confirm its contents. Anybody have anything they'd like to change? Okay. If not, Art, would you? Sure.
I move to confirm without amendment the final report approved on July 21st, 2025, and filed with the Erie County Election Office on July 24th, 2025, based upon the Study Commission's findings and recommendations of meetings held from December 4th, 2024 through August 25th, 2025. The presentations made therein, data collection, interviews of key officials in similar communities, and comments received by residents, which were researched and analyzed by the commission. I make that motion.
You have a second? Second. Second by Mr. Shaw. Any questions or comments? If not, John?
Mr. Dida.
Yes.
Mr. DePlacido, yes. Mr. Algieri.
Yes.
Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Donna Shaw.
Yes.
Mr. Boyka.
Yes.
Mr. Zona.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Other business, anybody have anything for other business up here? If not, we will proceed to the public comment section. If there's anybody that would like to make public comments.
Just want to finish.
Sorry for cutting you off.
No, that's okay. I'm used to it. Again, I'm Candy, and at the last supervisors meeting, Mr. Shaw said that he had researched 3 townships that made comparable amounts of money for their solicitors. His exact words were, "The form of government has nothing to do with fees incurred, but deals with intricacies of issues in municipality and challenges in the community that the community faces." Does that sound factual to you? Because the townships he mentioned was Bensalem, which you had in your study, but DCED did not report it. But Bensalem is a mayor-council form with a population of 62,707 people. They have 2 solicitors and 2 labor, I would assume they're attorneys because they do contracts, I'm assuming. So to me, that would be 4 attorneys. So that is one thing. Then he had Upper Darby, and also Bensalem is a second-class township. Upper Darby is a first-class township, and their population is 85,681. They have a mayor and 11 council members. Lower Marion is a first-class township, and their population is 63,567. They have 14 commissioners, 1 manager, and 1 solicitor. So are we comparing apples to apples here? Because they're not second-class townships, which is what I believe you did in your report. That's why you didn't go with all these other big townships in the state, because we were comparing other second-class townships, as far as I know. Am I wrong? Okay, so am I looking at this the wrong way with Mr. Shaw, what he said? Oh, yes, you're right.
It's not question and answer, yeah, it's not question and answer.
Yeah. Wouldn't you want to check, I mean, if you had facts, wouldn't you want second-class township? That's all. And again, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm back. And my name's Grant Philbeck, West Mill Creek resident. So again, I always start this out with, I was accused of hating veterans. That's why I always thank you for your service. I don't hate you guys. I'm not mad at you guys. I want to just say that, and I'm going to repeat something I've said before. It was said earlier, our elections in Mill Creek, our form of government's working in Mill Creek. I want to say that in the last 6 years, since I've been able to vote in Mill Creek supervisor elections, for example, well, actually it's been 10 years, but whatever. So our incumbent supervisor in 2019 was defeated in the general election. 2021, the incumbent supervisor was defeated in the primary election. 2023, the incumbent supervisor was defeated in the primary election. The voters are paying attention to who's running their government, and it's working. If it wasn't working, we would have the same supervisor for 50 years. That's my opinion on it. I also want to highlight that, again, with a borough manager or someone in that capacity, everyone's talking about qualifications. The thing that our founders of this nation indicated in their founding documents, you can read the Federalist Papers, the Anti-Federalist Papers, is that there's a civilian government. It's of the people, by the people. Not everyone in government should have a CPA or a master's degree or a JD or any type of specialized training. It can just be that guy down the street who is really passionate about government. I wish one of you guys would run for supervisor. You seem very engaged with what's going on, and you're all very accomplished individuals. There's a lot of things here that I just don't find right. Your form of government is the same form of government that Lawrence Park has and Wesleyville has. Let's look at the townships that are similar to us, or population. Harrisburg has a mayor and a council. I'm frustrated as a resident. I want a mayor and a council. I want a full-time mayor and a part-time council. I don't want some unelected bureaucrat that can be hired by your buddies, not your buddies, buddies of the borough council, to be able to make all the decisions. They have to be answering to the people. And that's why I'm so fundamentally disappointed that this is what is occurring in my hometown. And people are moving to Mill Creek because it's stable. This is making us unstable. But again, Harrisburg has a mayor and a council. Lancaster has a mayor and a council. These are really important things, and I wish that you would do something different. I want to highlight again that people in government don't need specialized degrees or specialized training. That's what makes the United States unique, and that's what makes us a great country. And I just fundamentally disagree with your findings in your report. And again, thanks for your time. Do I need to sign in again?
I do want to thank you guys for your times and all your hard work. And I've said this in the past in other places, and it's an old quote, but numbers don't lie, but liars use figures. And I will say, I was always under the impression that you were going to try and study the way the Mill Creek more efficient and save money. And that's why I harp on the savings and the numbers, and that's what bothers me. Also, with all the chaos going on in other areas in the world and stuff, and I have good intentions, right now, I don't think Mill Creek needs to, because this is going to take years to do too. It's not going to happen overnight, you snap your fingers. I think we need to take a moment and wait and come up with a better solution. Thanks.
Linda Trahosky again. I just want to point out, I am a judge of elections here in Mill Creek. And you have down here that you want to do your open houses and public forums on September 8th, September 22nd, August 6th, and October 27th. If you are not familiar already, mail-in ballots start to go out on September 15th. So in order to inform the voters properly, I would suggest you move those dates up if you plan on getting your message out. Otherwise, it looks like you are going to be withholding information, and just let them go on what the 55-page report says.
Anyone else? Okay, if not, we will move on to good of the order. Anything for good of the order, anyone?
I'd just like to thank everybody who came here tonight for your time and dedication. You see the same faces, and I appreciate you being here. Those who spoke, I appreciate. That's our God-given right, and I appreciate the fact that you're here letting us know how you feel. You can look at things in different ways. You can look at figures in different ways. What you might think is a strength, I might think is a weakness, and vice versa, as far as forms of government. But I do not hesitate to endorse the work we've done. I put in the hours. I had no involvement in Mill Creek politics or, we're all doing this for the right reason, which is to make a better Mill Creek. And even though we may think we have different ways to get there, I think we're all in the same boat, that we care about our community, and I appreciate that from each and every one of you. So, it's up to us to try to inform the public. The website is the number one way to do that, whether we have forums and can get people there, whether people are going to show up at a forum. You see what we get here tonight on, if we can get a lot of people there, I don't know. But, we're trying to inform people of what we did, the decision we came up with. And ultimately, it's going to be their decision, so we got to encourage everybody to get out and vote. So thank you.
Anyone else?
Just some thoughts to share, and again, I appreciate the public that is here to listen to us. It was an advertised open meeting, so that's part of trying to get the information out ahead of time, knowing that mail-in ballots are going to be out there soon. The document itself has been multiple places, including YouTube and our link on the Government Study Commission. So I think we've done almost everything we can do to try to make sure that information is available to make informed voters. And I've said it multiple times to everybody that I've talked to about it. It's not this commission that makes the decision as to the form of government. It's the voters. And so we want to make sure anything else that we can do that you see, I'd certainly be glad to listen to. The question was asked earlier tonight as to how many employees did we interview from Mill Creek Township. And just for some background on it, I, as a commission member, couldn't do it. If I did, I would have had to make the appointment through Attorney Shaw, and it was limited to members of the professional committee, that Atlantic Partners. They were the only ones that could interview certain Mill Creek Township employees. Whether that restricted information or not, I have no idea, but that was a restriction placed on it. In all of the things that you look at when you read this report, you've got to take a step back and do the totality of all of the information. It's not just budget, it's not just legal fees, it's not just politics, it's not just the number of people. All of those things together have been analyzed by this commission to reach a conclusion that was in our report. And that report was submitted by the timeline created by the law that governs what we have to do as a study commission. It wasn't that we sat back in pick a day, March or April or whatever, and said, we're not going to put it out there until May. That was the date we needed to do to be able to get it down to the voter's office. So we've got to look at everything. Once upon a time, I did a master's thesis. And I proved in my research that my thesis was incorrect. And so I've always taken that background, and everything that we've done is to look at all sides of the coin, or whatever phrase you want to apply to it, to look at it. And that's exactly what I've done here, and I can speak for my fellow commission members as well. In just a last thought, just food for thought for everybody, is there are some that have got up here and advocated there's a better way to do it. I'll be the first one to say, bring it to me in writing, let me take a look at it, and we'll review it and see how it fits what we did. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to tell you that I am. Thank you, Paul.
Just want to add one more thing. This group has taken a lot of criticism, and we certainly didn't do it for the glory or for the money. But I do want to point out one thing. We did work long and hard on this. I mean, you could ask our spouses, our coworkers. It was not something that we took very casually, and we decided we're going to take this next 7 or 8 months out of our life and focus on Mill Creek Township. But one thing I want everybody here to remember, to note, is that when there's criticism to this group, you're also criticizing 73% of the cities, the towns, and the counties throughout the entire United States with populations of 2,500 or more have established the position of professional local government manager. So you're also criticizing 73% of all these other government entities, and you're saying they're doing it wrong.
Thank you. Anyone else? I won't go on to any of that. Mr. Servideo, I owe you an apology. You apologized to me. I shouldn't have snapped on you. I maybe got a little protective of my colleagues. I've been called a lot worse at the Waterworks, trust me.
Crazy is a word. I mean, the way it came out. So if
Yeah.
you needed the apology.
I did it, but I apologize to you for snapping back.
I accept it, but I'm glad you snapped back.
Like I said, I've been called a lot worse. Okay, if there's nothing else for the good of the order, I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Moved by Bill, second by RJ. All in favor, just aye. Opposed? Meeting ended.